I'm Doug Richardson, and this is photography the way I see it. Welcome back, YouTube. I'm Doug Richardson. Today we're just going to talk about a little bit about sensor cleaning. I'm not going to go much into detail. It's just that a lot of people aren't aware that the sensors have to even be cleaned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a graphic on the screen to show you how to get to your sensor. But I can't go too much into detail because different cameras have different methods of doing the sensor cleaning. So you really have to look at your user manual. But I can tell you that like for example, in the Canon camera, there is a sensor cleaning button in the menu. That does not mean it's going to clean your sensor for you. What it means is first you have to make sure you have a strong battery in your camera, because if that shutter closes while you're cleaning it, you could damage your camera. But make sure you have a fully charged battery, because that shutter is going to be locked open while you're cleaning it, and you want the battery to be able to hold it open. So they make cleaning kits that give you a little swab, and in the graphic you'll see the swab. It's just a white paddle that it looks like, and you can put some solution on it. And you go to the cleaning setting on your camera and you lock that shutter open. Again, going by however your manual says to do it, it will lock the shutter open, and then you can reach that paddle down in there and gently swab the sensor. And if you look at the very tip of the red arrow that's pointing, that is the sensor in the back. If you look through the front of the camera without a lens on it, it will be the thing all the way to the back. As far as you can see, it looks like where your film would be if it was a film camera. That's the sensor. Now, you're going to have the way you can tell that you need to clean your sensor, and I'll put this other picture up, is you will see splotches on your picture that you're going to think is probably dust on your lens, but more than likely it is not dust on your lens, it's dust on your sensor. And this doesn't make sense to me, but here's the best way to find out if your sensor needs cleaned. And this absolutely does not make sense, but I found this out through experience and experimenting. You want to take a picture of a solid colored wall, typically white wall, or go outside and take a picture of the sky. You don't want anything in it, but make it a solid color. You want to shoot an exposure, and this is a part that doesn't make sense to me, but it happens to be fact. Your exposure, you want your lens opening to be 11 or 16 even, if you could. The smaller that lens opening, the easier it will be to see if you have something on your sensor. I did an experiment one time. I worked my way all the way down through the f-stops. And the smaller the f-stop I used, the sharper, the clearer that the dust was to see. Okay? So what you want to do, make sure you use a small lens opening. I wouldn't do any wider than 11. Do 11 or 16. Take a picture. Bring up that picture on your computer, whatever you're using, and then kind of search around that photo and see if you can find anything that needs cleaned. If it needs to be cleaned, use the cleaning kit. Lock the sensor open, or lock the shutter open. Clean the sensor. Use the instructions that come in your manual and with the cleaning kit. As far as using air, I don't know that they recommend using compressed air. I have used compressed air. I'm not going to say I recommend that. I can't, because I don't know what the manufacturer recommends. But when I did that, what I did, do not put the compressed air down close to the sensor. You have to keep it back a foot away from the camera and just let some of the air go down in there to gently blow out what it can get out. Okay, do not put the tip of that can down in your camera and try to blast that sensor. I'm pretty sure you would do, or potentially could do, some damage that way. Okay, but that's how you see if you need to clean it. Go out and every once in a while, do a picture at f16, f11 down there, put it on your computer and check and see if you see anything. And then from that point on, go ahead and take pictures once you get it cleaned. But I can't go into detail again. You have to make sure you go by what your owner's manual says and what the manual on the cleaning kit says. But if you're getting these I call them little blobs or orbs on your picture, then you really need to clean your sensor, because that is not the dust on your lens. Usually a little bit of dust on the lens doesn't show up on pictures. You shoot right through it. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that it is important to keep those sensors clean for that reason. So if you have any questions or anything, please put it in the comments. Again, once again, I would appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe to the channel, trying to get this thing up and going. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.